Hi there, I'm Jim Mathias from the Nevada Evo Placer Unit. I'm the Division Chief in charge of North Operations in the Washington Ridge Camp. And today I'm going to talk to you about the CAL FIRE Ready, Set, Go program. And what that'll do is it'll make you as prepared as possible should a wildfire affect your neighborhood and more directly your home. So I want you to get your cameras out, and the first thing we're going to do is introduce you to CAL FIRE's app. So if you have a smartphone, go ahead and either pause this screen or hold it up to the screen, and you'll see a little QR code there. Your camera should be able to pick that up, and that'll take you right to our website. On that website, it's going to allow you to access our app, which is available on both the iOS and the Android platforms. And you can install that on your phone, and it's a checklist that you can go through that'll cover everything that we're going to talk about in the next few minutes. It's a great Cliff Note version of everything that you need to do. It's a checklist to keep you safe in the Ready, Set, Go program and introduce you to all the important concepts that are inside of it. If you don't have a smartphone, you can also access it from your computer. You can print out the pages and you can go through that checklist just by navigating our website. So www.readyforwildfire.org if you can't see the entire thing there. But the QR code should get you there if you have a smartphone. If not, let me move me out of the way and make sure that you can see it right there, www.readyforwildfire.org. So the first step in Ready, Set, Go is obviously the ready part. So this is the first step in getting you ready for those wildfires. It's just that. It's defensible space and hardening your home. Probably one of the most important concepts you can do as a homeowner and as a property owner if you live in a rural area or even if you live in an urban area. It's going to prepare your home to keep it as survivable as possible should a wildfire burn through that area. There's many different steps to this. The first thing that we do is we break your home down into several different zones. The first two are zone 1, and that's 30 feet all the way around your home. What we'd like you to do there is do just all these steps that you're seeing here on your screen. Remove dead grass and weeds from around your house. Nobody's asking you to create a moonscape around your home. We're asking you to remove the dead grass and the weeds from directly around your home, 30 feet away, and keep that part clear. And it's not something you can do once. You have to maintain it. Remove any of the dead, dying trees from your yard, your roof, and gutters. And again, this is 30 feet around the perimeter of your home and your deck. So you can basically step that off or measure it out 30 feet. Trim all the trees a minimum of 10 feet from your home roof. So away from your chimneys, away from your roof, at least 10 feet, any of those tree branches that hang down. And sometimes it's fairly difficult. You might need to get a professional involved, but we ask that you keep that 10 feet of safety around your home. Move any of your exposed wood piles from your home. If you keep them inside of a storage shed right next to your home, that's okay. But anything that's open where an ember can land or fire can directly impinge upon that, we ask you to move it away from your home, at least out of that 30-foot zone. And I know with some property lines that's difficult, but the further you have that wood pile away from your home during the summertime, the safer your home's going to be and the easier it is for us to protect it. Keep plants away from any windows and vents. It's hard to believe that when you have a nice, beautiful green shrub that it could catch on fire and that could result in your house burning down, but it does happen fairly frequently. So keep any plants away from your windows and vents. Clear under and around your decks. I know I'm a homeowner too, and sometimes that's a very easy place to store things to keep them out of sight, out of mind. During wildfire season is not the time to utilize that space. If you're going to utilize that space underneath your deck, just encapsulate it. Use some kind of fire-safe building material and enclose it so that no embers can get in there. But if you have an open space under your deck with lattice or just completely open, please don't store anything underneath your deck, because it's a waiting ember receptacle for them to land on top of and burn down your home. Create separation between the trees. There's a cute little chart here that we show you, and I know it may be hard to see. Basically, what we're trying to do here is we're illustrating the closer it gets to your home, the further or the more spacing we want between trees. So and bushes as well. And I'll get a little bit more into that into the zone 2. But keep some spacing between trees. We're looking for more of a mosaic than a continuous fuel source. Remove all the tree branches at least 6 feet from the ground. And that means if you look at my cute little tiny picture over here on the right, from the ground level, 6 feet up, we want that area clear, because that's where a ground fire will get into the tops of these trees and send embers all the way around to affecting your home and potentially even affecting your neighbor's home. Either way, not a good look for you to burn down your neighborhood with low-hanging limbs from trees. Keep the inside corners near the home clear of any debris. And we'll get into that in the next slide that we're going to talk about, where we talk about the ember zone. But the inside corners are where the wind's going to blow, and it's going to blow some of those embers into your home in kind of an eddy effect, which means that basically it'll suck those embers very close into your home. So we want to stay away from that if we can. Okay, go into the next zone. We've already cleared all these items here for 30 feet from your home. Go to zone 2. That's the next 70 or 100 total feet around the outside perimeter of your home. What we will ask that you do here is mow the grass to a maximum of 4 inches. Once again, we're not looking for moonscape. What we're looking for is that your home is as safe as it can be. So keep that grass down to 4 inches or even lower. We say that's a maximum of 4 inches, obviously, because you can't mow every day, and we're cognizant of that, but keep it 4 inches or preferably even less. Remove any of the fallen pine needles, leaves, branches, anything that could easily catch on fire in that 100 feet around your home. Keep that mosaic and create horizontal spacing between trees and shrubs. Now, once again, it's a little hard to see, and I understand that. But what they're trying to illustrate, if we look at this first plant here, the mosaic is what we're looking for. So if we have an x-axis, or basically, let's say this is 2 feet tall for easy, because I like simple math. If this is 2 feet tall, what we're asking is that you keep 4 feet, so you multiply that height times 2 between your brush, so that we have a mosaic of a decent amount between those little brush that are less than 6 feet. Once we get to the trees, we want to keep a minimum of 10 feet spacing between those trees. So clear it 6 feet up from the bottom, and then have 10 feet at a minimum between trees, if that's at all possible. That'll make your home as safe as possible. All this is true for flat ground. As the ground increases, and gets steeper, we want you to increase that spacing in your mosaic. A lot of people don't live on a completely flat piece of ground. So we're asking that you take that 2-foot brush, and the next piece of brush that's up the hill from that, we want it at least 4 times greater than that. So 2 times 4 is 8, if my math is correct. So we're asking that mosaic now not only be 2 feet apart, but as the incline increases, we ask that you increase that exponentially. If it gets steeper, further apart is even better. Same thing is true with trees. 20 feet between the trees if they're not on flat ground, and that allows you a fighting chance to be able to have embers and heat not jump from one tree to the next. So speaking of embers, we go right to the ember zone. And what we've seen in a lot of homes recently, in the last couple of years, with wildfires burning through very urban areas, Santa Rosa, Paradise, things like that, we see that the fire front isn't the only thing that destroys homes. What will destroy a home way ahead of the advancing fire front is an ember or multiple embers, thousands and millions of embers flying through the air and looking for a receptive fuel bed. As you can see, this home here has some metal furniture around it, and it also has completely cleared at least a 5-foot perimeter all the way around that home. And that's what we're asking you to do. You can use dirt, you can use gravel, you can use designer bricks, you can use concrete as this homeowner did, but anything that we can ask that you do, that's one of the most that it's one of the easiest things and the best things to do to protect your home is to clear around that ember zone. So at least 5 feet all the way around the perimeter of your home. Make sure that there's no flammable vegetation, no leaves, no pine needles, no accumulation of any dry vegetation or even live vegetation within 5 feet of your home. Be very cognizant that that's a very dangerous area when a wildfire blows through your area. So keep all storage away from there. If you can, concrete, dirt, gravel, designer bricks, 5 feet around your home, please. So moving right on, we want to talk about hardening the home. Now that you've cleared around your home, what can you do to have your home stand the best chance of survival with the encroaching fire? Once again, embers are a big problem. We ask that you have fire-safe roofing. That's metal. A lot of builders will tell you that they have like I said, metal or ceramic tiles on their home. If you keep those roofs clear, that fire-safe roofing will keep all the embers from landing on anything and catching your roof on fire, which then destroys your home or your neighbor's home. Block spacing into your homes, anything that's an opening into your home, the block spacing underneath your home. Some homes allow for ventilation underneath them. We want to close that off so an ember can't go underneath your home. Cover vents with a 1/8 inch non-flammable metal mesh, available at most of your hardware stores. Some of them even have baffles that are inside of them. If you have a 1/8 inch screen and a baffle, it's very difficult for an ember to get into your attic or underneath your home. So any of those openings, we certainly want you to have some kind of ventilation so that you can adequately cool your home throughout the summer when it's not got fire in the area. But when you do have a fire in the area, we want you to be as prepared as possible. So we do want air to be able to go in and out, but we don't want an ember to go in and out. Just picture how dry your attic is and how hot it gets. It doesn't take very much for a little ember to get inside of your attic and catch on fire and have a deep-seated fire that burns down your house very rapidly. Cover all those eaves and soffits. So this is an open eave here. A lot of us have homes that look like this. The last home I lived in looked exactly like this, where you have an overhang here with eaves, and then there's some kind of block in here, and it has holes drilled into it, or even not these things here, where air can get in and ventilate into your attic. We ask that you try to close it off and then have these soffit vents that allow air to get in there, so you still get some of the same ventilation, but it'll slow down a fire. So do that as much as you can. Cover those eaves with these soffits and the soffits grates over the top of it, and that'll slow down embers from having the possibility of getting up into your attic. Same thing underneath your home. In this area down here, if you had some ventilation going under your home, we'd want you to have a 1/8 inch non-fire screen. So it would be like a metal screen with 1/8 inch openings in it. Dual pane windows are the best protection against radiant heat. A single pane window isn't going to slow down the heat. It makes it harder for your air conditioner to keep you cool in the summertime. So you can imagine with a fire right outside of that window, how that would allow that heat to get right through and catch some of your draperies or anything that's right inside of that window. It allows it to overheat to the point of ignition and allows that fire to get inside of your house. Surfaces of decks within 10 feet of the structure, we want them to be made of fire resistive materials. A lot of you have wood decks out there. Just maintain them the best that you can. Some of the plastic coated wood and the pure plastic and fiberglass type materials are a little less receptive fuel beds. So try to use those fire resistant materials when building decks around your home, especially if you have any kind of storage underneath it. Clear underneath those decks, like we already talked about. Any walls of fire resistant materials, bricks, stucco, that sort of thing makes your house a lot safer. Enclose your walls from the foundation to the roof. Let's look at this little picture down over here to the right. A lot of you will have a foundation that's made out of brick or cement, and then there'll be some kind of siding. And sometimes there's a gap between where your foundation is and the siding. We want to make sure that's enclosed and closed off as much as possible. Have a chimney screen on top of your chimney, 3/8 to 1/2 inch on the holes on that screen. And that allows in that shoulder season or towards the fall, where you may start having some fires to keep yourself warm at night and the fuels are still very dry during the day. It'll keep any fire that you have on the inside to keep you warm from sending out embers that potentially that afternoon or even that evening could land on some dry brush and start a fire around your home. Have rakes, shovels, buckets, hoses, extinguishers, all available to you. Should a fire come close to your home and it's just a nuisance fire, you can get it out before it's a big hazardous conflagration. Weather stripping around your garage doors. A lot of people have a garage door that doesn't have a very good seal. So take a look at the inside of your garage with the garage door down. If light can come through, that means air can come through. And if air comes through, embers come through. And I know in my garage, there's many different things, cardboard boxes and things like that I use for storage that will allow an ember to go in there and start the inside of the garage on fire. So if you have that weather stripping and airtight around your garage, that's something that we ask that you do, and it keeps your home a little bit safer. Okay, so now we've made our home as ready as we can. Now it's time to get set. Now we want to be prepared to evacuate and get out. So the next thing is we want to be set to evacuate. Know all of your evacuation routes. Understand that people in a large wildfire get very nervous and panicked, as they should be in some cases. We want you to calm down, know your neighborhood as well as possible. Don't only know one way out of your neighborhood. Know 2 to 3 to 4, as many ways as you can out of your neighborhood. And keep in mind, it's going to be dark. It's going to be smoky. There's going to be multiple things blocking different roadways. So the way that you normally go in and out of your home, the route that you take every day that's the quickest way may not be the right way in a fire scenario. So know several ways to get away from your home to get to someplace safe. I wish I could tell you right now which way that was, but I don't know the way the fire is coming. So know several different ways out of your home and out of the area, and know them clearly, because the weather is not going to be perfect. It's not going to be a bright, sunshiny day. There's going to be embers driving across or flowing across your route. There's going to be smoke, and it's going to be darker than you ever thought it would be possible during the day. So know that area out. Be ready to get out, and know that fire equipment is coming in, and you're going to have to avoid them as well. Have a family meeting place out of the area. Be set for that. You won't always have time to circle your family and get them all out at the same time. So they may be in a neighbor's house, a friend's house, a different area. You may have family that's a long ways away. Have a meeting place for your family all to meet up so that everybody knows that they're safe. We will expend a lot of resources to try to come in and get you and your family members, but you're really going to help us out if you all have a meeting place and you can account for everybody and do like you do with the school fire drill. We want to do a roll call on all of your family members. Have 3 or 4 of those different locations that you can all go to. If the cell phones are down and you can't talk to each other, have a preset place out of the area of your neighborhood that you're all going to go to and check in. And that way we know that your whole family's safe. Have that family meeting place. Know where and how to use your electric, gas, and water shutoffs for your home. If you feel like your home's in imminent danger, turn all those things off. Turn off electric, gas, and water shutoffs should you need to. Have a go bag. This is critically important. There's many different ways that you can research what you should put in that emergency supply kit that we're showing kind of a picture of here. There's all kinds of stuff that you may need to take. Medications, important paperwork, insurance paperwork, charging for your cell phones, just anything that's in family heirlooms, something that's important to you that you can load up and either have in your car or have in a bag that everybody knows where it's at, and it's easiest for the smallest person in your family to carry it to the car. Have that go bag ready to go. Have a plan for your pets. You don't want to be thinking about one of your family member pets still in your home should you have to evacuate rapidly and trying to figure out how to get them out of out of the area. It puts you in danger and it puts them in danger. So have a pre-thought out plan for that. Conduct a fire drill. Rehearse that with your family once a year. My family makes a lot of fun out of me when we go to hotels and we have like a fire drill. We look for a way to get out, and it's just something that I always do. And we do that at our home. So make sure that you conduct a fire drill at your home so that everybody knows what the plan is before it's time to utilize that plan. If you know that it's a high fire danger, keep your vehicle ready, right? Keep it maintained, running very well, have it full of fuel, have it backed into your driveway, have it ready to go. If you hear that the fire danger is going to be high, and the winds are going to be blowing, and it could be dangerous, you may experience a public safety power shutoff. That's the time when it's ready to have your car set to go. Set that car, get it ready to go, backed in, parked outside. If you have a garage door opener that requires power, you're going to need to know how to get out of there. So have your car sitting outside, have it full of fuel, have it backed in, ready to go. The garage door is kind of a problem for some people that don't know how to open it. Imagine that the power is shut off and you have to get your car out. Nobody wants to have to drive through your garage door. Obviously, your car will do it, but it could sustain some damage and it makes your home damaged for a long time and more susceptible to those embers. Communicate with your neighbors. Make sure that your neighbors that might not have as much information as you, they're ready to go too. They have this plan. You've discussed it. You're sharing information. One of the things that CAL FIRE likes to have you do is remember the 6 Ps. Keep those 6 Ps. Be ready for people and pets to be set to evacuate. Have your papers, phone numbers, important documents, prescriptions such as vitamins, eyeglasses, prescription medications. Have your pictures, irreplaceable memorabilia, family heirlooms, personal computer, hard drive, all the discs that you need to keep, memory devices, that sort of thing, and have your plastic ready to go. Credit cards, ATM cards, and cash so that you can purchase things that you need to in an emergency. Okay, we're ready. We were set, and now it's time to put the foot on the gas pedal. Give yourself and your family the best chance for survival by evacuating early. Nobody should have to tell you when it's time to evacuate. There should be a little voice inside of your head that says, oh gosh, I probably shouldn't be here. It's okay to leave. Leave early. You can always come back if the fire doesn't look like it's going to be that big of a deal, but leave in an orderly fashion. Leave as soon as the evacuation is recommended. We'll have many different medias that'll tell you, and I'll talk about that later, how you're going to get the word. There isn't just one method. We're certainly not going to forget about you. We're going to try to get to you and tell you how to get out and when it's time to get out. Don't wait to be evacuated by the authorities. It's okay to leave early. You can always come back. The earlier you evacuate, the easier it is for us in law enforcement to get in, to protect other people and to protect your valuables. We don't roll in little teeny tiny cars. I don't know a firefighter in the world that drives a Prius to an emergency. We're driving very large fire engines. We're driving transports that haul bulldozers, and we're driving large crew buses that have 15 to 20 workers inside of them. All of our equipment is very large and we need room to get in. So we need you to get out as early as possible so we can get in and do our job. We might not have time to knock on every door, but trust us, we're going to try to get you the word. When to evacuate? The officials, the sheriff's department in each county is going to be the one that's going to recommend the evacuation, and they're going to put those evacuation orders into place. We're going to look at the fire, we're going to evaluate it as the fire department, and we're going to make recommendations to the law enforcement folks about which way the fire is headed and how much time people have to evacuate. And based on that information, the sheriff's department and law enforcement are going to figure out what areas need to get evacuated and when they need to get evacuated. And they're going to get that word to you as quickly as they can. You'll be advised of those evacuations as soon as they can get that information. You may be directed to an area that's just a temporary assembly area before you move out to another area that's safe. It's really not time to discuss the route on how to get out or which way, or if you know a better way. What we're trying to do is we're trying to get everybody out with the information we have and give you the best information that we can at the time. So please heed the warnings and the rules of law enforcement, and don't get into a discussion with them because they've got many other people to get out of the area. Go, it's time to go. Don't wait around. When we say it's time to go, it's uncomfortable for us to tell somebody to leave their home. We're not going to do it without a lot of thought put into it. When we say it's time to go, it's time for you to go. When you get that word, you should have an evacuation checklist. That should have been part of your preparation before the time we say go. So have an evacuation checklist, all the things that you need to do before you leave. Shut all the windows and doors, leave them unlocked in your home. So should we need to get in, we don't have to break into your home to put out a small fire. We can get in easily. And of course, you have to balance that with the security of your home. The Sheriff's Department and law enforcement are going to do everything that they can to keep your home as safe as possible. And you just have to trust that they'll be able to do that very well. Consider safety security locks that can open easily. Leave all the gates open if at all possible. I know that you want to keep your home and your belongings safe, but every second counts sometimes when we have to get in and get a fire before it gets big on your property. Close any metal shutters, remove any flammable or decorative window coverings. Get those things away from windows so that an ember, should the window break, an ember isn't going to catch that window covering on fire. If you have single pane windows, it's very important because radiant heat can come right through those windows and land on your window coverings, catch them on fire, and now the inside of your house is on fire. Shut off the gas before you leave. Leave an outside light on if you can. That allows us to know that there's an occupied home or at least a home that's up in that area. And so leave an outside light on. Turn off your HVAC, which is basically your air conditioner and any heater that you have on. Any fan blowing air from the outside to the inside is going to put that smoke inside of your home. Terrible smell, you don't want it inside your home, so turn it off if you can before you go. Move any flammable furniture, the propane barbecue inside the garage if you can, and have that ready to go. Don't do all this stuff once you get the word to go. Have it ready to go, and then when you get the word to go, do it before, and don't delay your escape is what I'm saying. Turn off your propane tank and then your pilot lights. Connect any available garden hoses to the water supply before you go, and don't leave those sprinklers running. I know it's tempting, but trust us, if our fire engines that deliver 500 to 1,000 gallons per minute are not going to be effective on the fire, then your sprinkler system is not going to be effective on the fire either. So what we're asking is that you don't waste water that we may need for fire suppression. Keep your go bag in your vehicle ready to go. Have your car backed into the driveway like we talked about and outside of the garage if it's safe to do so. Have a ladder outside available. Lean it against your home if it's like an aluminum ladder that's in an obvious place that isn't going to block anybody's thoroughfare, but have it outside and visible. And that way firefighters don't have to unload their ladder off the fire engine. If there's a small ember fire up on top of your roof, that ladder is going to allow the firefighters to hop up there real easy and put it out. Locate and take all of your pets. They're very important. We're going to do what we can to protect them, but we don't have time or the ability to collect everyone's pets. So if you can take them immediately, utilize that plan that you already had and take your pets with you. Prep farm animals for transport. In other words, if they're out in the field, if they can be gathered in one area, or chickens in a coop, something like that, have them ready to get transported. Wear appropriate shoes and pants and a long sleeve shirt. You never really know what the conditions are going to be. And sometimes during the summertime, we're wearing tank tops and shorts. Well, when you're escaping a wildland fire, you never know when you're going to get trapped somewhere and you're going to need to get out of that environment. So have some kind of clothing that's appropriate for you doing hard, arduous work, because that's what it's going to be to escape a wildfire. Don't wear short sleeve t-shirts or anything that could easily catch on fire that isn't going to provide you very much protection. Have eye protection, whether that's sunglasses or something some kind of safety goggles, a bandana to protect your face from the heat. You're not going to filter out all the carcinogens that are in the air or the smoke, but something that you can put in front of your face to deflect that heat away is what you're looking for. Never delay an evacuation with your preparation, folks. Okay, you're getting ready to leave your home. You've gotten the order. It's now time to go, and you're driving away, but you become trapped in your vehicle. Your vehicle, trust me, stay calm if you can. Keep the roadway as clear as possible. If your car feels like it's going to stall, pull off the side of the roadway so you're not blocking others from getting out, and so that in poor visibility, somebody doesn't run into you and injure you as well. Close all the windows and the vents in your car. Your car will take a lot of damage before it stops moving. The oxygen in the air is not going to be sucked out and stall your car. Your car will take more damage than you think it can. So keep moving if you can, even if you're moving slowly, as long as you can see and safely move one direction or the other. Be patient. Sometimes you may have to actually stop for a little while to let fire pass by you. Fire is similar to waves of the ocean. If you've ever been out in the ocean and you were looking for just the right wave to jump in and play in, fire waves are similar to that. There will be a big blast of fire that will go along and it lasts for 20, 30 seconds, maybe a minute or two. But if you're patient, that'll usually subside, and then it's the opportunity for you to move another 150, 200, 300 feet or out of that area. Fire comes in waves, so be patient, wait for your turn, and then safely get out of the way. Don't block the roadway. That can keep others from evacuating. Never leave your car blocking the roadway if you have the opportunity to move it out of the way. Ride with someone else if your car becomes disabled. That's okay. Just don't leave your car in the roadway. Call 911. If you find that your car is trapped, it can't move anymore, call 911 if the cell phones are still working. If you're out of your car and you're now trapped on foot, once again, staying calm allows you to make better decisions. Get to a clear area if possible. There may be some members, there may be some smoke, but if you're in an area that's a big grassy area, such as a golf course or a big, large lawn, get to that area with not a lot of fuel around you. The heat will be less. It's your best chance of survival. Stay away from chutes, chimneys, and saddles. And what I'm talking about is depressions in geographic features, like drainages, culverts, that sort of thing. Anywhere that water could run down it in the wintertime, fire is going to try to run up it. So although we don't want you to stand on top of a knoll of a hill, if you stand on the other side of the hill or out of a drainage, you stand the best chance for survival from superheated gases, which are the biggest danger, and also from heat. Lie face down, cover your body to insulate it from any heat, and try to call 911 if cell phones are working. If you're trapped in your home, trust me, you're fairly safe if we can get to you in time. Once again, stay calm, stay together as a family so that everybody knows where they are. We don't have to try to find individuals inside of a home. Stay together. Your home, once again, will take a lot of heat. It might catch on fire on the outside, but it's going to give you a few minutes to successfully get out and be as safe as possible and survive. It gives you the best chance for survival. As soon as that fire front has passed, the outside of your house may be on fire, the inside is insulated, you'll be fine for a little while. And then as soon as you think it's safe to get out of that home that's on fire, get outside and do all those other things we talked about on the left side of your screen there. Fill the sinks and tubs with water. That's going to help you to put out any fires on the inside, and it's going to help you to soak some clothing. Keep your windows and your doors closed and unlocked so we can get into you once we get there. Stay inside and away from windows, very similar to kind of like a hurricane situation. So how will you know to evacuate? That's one of the things that we've been working on. We've heard a lot of questions from the community. At first we said, how do we teach the public to protect their homes? And so we started talking about defensible space and inspections and change some of the laws of California to say the Public Resources Code, where it orders people to clear around your homes. And then After that, we started talking about the Ready, Set, Go program, which we're talking about now. And we started to get the word out about that with some great information. And over the last year or two, what we've really been hearing the public say is that we've done all the things that you've asked, fire service and law enforcement. We've done all those things. Now we want to know, how do we know when it's time to get out? How does the word get to us? We've listened to that, and we're hoping to have better answers for you every single year. We improve all those things I talked about. So some of the reliable sources that we know about are the Code Red program in Nevada County. So register that. There's the website you're seeing on your screen right now. Go into there, register for Code Red. Code Red is a system that once the fire department recommends to law enforcement to evacuate, that's how they get the word out to you. So you register for that Code Red. It sends you a text message, a phone call at your home phone, a cell phone call, an email, all those combinations individually or all together. It will send you a message that it's time to get out. And if we have the chance, we're going to send you routing instructions as well. So that's what the Code Red system does. You have to be pre-registered for it. Something that you have to do ahead of time. It's not something that you can do the day of the emergency. So you have that ready to go so we can get that information to you. The Ready Nevada County dashboard is another thing that Nevada County has created. The website you're seeing on your screen right now, write that down, search it out, get in there, and that will give you as up-to-date information about any incident in your area. Right now, it has a lot of COVID information on it. During a wildland incident, it's going to have that kind of information on it. Dial 211, another successful program in Nevada County. Pick up the phone, dial 211. That system will give you as much information as they have available to you. We update it all the time. The Sheriff's Department of Nevada County and all law enforcement agencies have just started the high-low siren program. That's the European siren sound that you'll hear on movies sometimes. The only reason you're going to hear that high-low siren in Nevada County, if it's traveling through your neighborhood, is because it's time for you to evacuate for whatever reason, earthquake, hazardous material event, or wildfire. That high-low siren is telling you to get out. Our local radio stations, particularly KVMR Radio 89.5 on your FM dial, is another way to get as updated information as possible. Pretty soon, we're going to have another program in Nevada County called Zone Haven. The Sheriff's Department and OES are going to roll out that information, but that's going to be another website that will have up-to-date information, and it'll be available to you to give you information about when to evacuate, how to evacuate in some areas, or some ways to evacuate from your home area, or what we call zones, hence the name Zone Haven. Anyway, that's coming soon. I hope you enjoyed this presentation of the Ready, Set, Go program, and be fire safe out there. I hope to see you, but not on a wildland fire. Thanks for your time and attention, everybody.